All right, everybody, happy Thursday. We're going to finish up our characterization, our character notes that we started on Tuesday today, based off of Harrison Bergeron, and that's going to need to be turned in today. It's your final daily grade, and at this point, the majority of your grade should be completed. So spend some time catching up, making sure everything has been turned in. Remember, you can use the MP3 assignments list on our course page to get the whole list of everything, and you can click on the links directly to the assignments and all the materials, so that way you can figure out how to do it. I pretty much give at least examples, or I talk through everything via our videos, so you really should have everything you need to complete every single assignment for this grading period. All right, so for our last day, I wanted to model one example of direct characterization, which was the appearance section. And then I'm going to model one example of indirect, which will be character reactions. So you'll have one of each. If you needed to remember what those things were, remember the notes are right here. You also have access to the PDF and the audio if you still need to review the story one more time. So yesterday I talked about appearance, and if you look at my my box to the right, I'm not explaining really what's happening in the story. Like, I get that based on the evidence. I'm not giving a summary. What I'm talking about is I'm looking at observations. What do these things mean in the bigger picture? Why are they important? So what? Who cares? So if you're really summarizing this, I'm pretty sure we all can read the story. We don't need a summary. I need to know why it matters. What do these details suggest? Why should we care about them? They should be relevant to what you view in terms of, what it means to be human, and what we're talking about now is with equality. So for reactions, I found this section where Harrison Bergeron has torn down the door, and this is right after his mugshot has been broadcasted on television. And it says, clanking, clownish, and huge, Harrison stood in the center of the studio. The knob of the uprooted studio door was still in his hand. Ballerinas, technicians, musicians, and announcers cowered on their knees before him, expecting to die. So for reactions, this is a reaction to Harrison Bergeron. There was also reactions to his mugshot as well, with his father, as well as the screams that they described that could be heard. So in your box on the left, it says, what can you learn about the character based on how others in the story react to them? And I took mine one step further. What can we learn about society, about the world, about the topic of equality or greatness or achievement? And so I said, this description shows that others fear Harrison despite his young age. Remember, he's only 14. This shows that his potential for greatness is what people fear because it intimidates them. Think about it. I know I come across as intimidating, but why? Because I'm assertive, because I know my stuff, because I'm confident in certain things, because I like to talk. What makes me intimidating, right? Why do people fear things like that? And so I also said this could show that even though you may feel that the word is against you, greatness can only be limited if you allow it to be. So for Harrison, literally everything was against him, but he could allow those burdens to kind of take over him or not, and he chose not to. But ultimately, what we see is fear is what prevents greatness, right? Fear is debilitating. Fear stops any sort of progress. So, in terms of equality in this society, they feared people becoming too great because then, they couldn't be controlled, right? And there are a lot of pros and cons to all of that. So you'll notice in my responses, I'm not summarizing too much. I am giving context, in the story because I kind of have to. But then I go beyond that and I talk a lot about experiences that we all can share and observations that we all see every single day, whether they're fiction or not. So push yourself to try to do that in this character chart, okay? When you've completed it, you're going to submit it. If you're watching this video, more than likely you did not make our Zoom meeting today, so you're going to need to make sure you answer this attendance question. And basically what I want to know is, in your opinion, what is the worst thing about this society that is described in the story? So would it be the handicaps? Would it be how they put, incompetent people in charge of things? Is it the fact that, everybody's mediocre? What would you think would be the worst thing described in this society? What would be the one thing you would absolutely hate or can't stand about living in a society like this? So this needs to be turned in before midnight in order to earn your attendance credit. Remember, it takes 3 to 5 business days to update that, so I will mark you absent if you're not in Zoom. But remember, it will change as long as you complete the attendance question, but it doesn't change right away. It takes a while, which is why everybody keeps stressing for you guys to be on the Zoom meetings. All right, plus it's just easier in that respect. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit about your alternate project assignment in case you would like to improve either of your grades, your major grades. So that would be the poetry assessment or the multi-genre project. And I'll talk to you guys about that tomorrow. Remember, if you guys have questions, if you feel overwhelmed about anything, don't. There's still hope. There's still time. Um, and if you know me, you know that there's no judgment. If you truly care about your grade, even if it's now, I'm not going to be like, well, too bad, so sad. I definitely want to help you, but help me help you. Ask. Come to Zoom. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to say, no, you can't do anything. I want you to pass. So the first step is looking at that MP3 assignments list, because all of your questions for like, how do I even start? I don't even know what to do. All of that can be answered here on this document. Start with the red and work your way down, okay? I'm confident that you'll pass provided that you do these 2 red assignments because they're 60% of your grade. And all these other things are relatively simple. All this poetry stuff that we did at the beginning, I did it with you. The notebook check and the progress check will be taken care of if you do the major grades. This is a discussion board. It's easy. This isolated scene has 3 questions on it. You read 2 paragraphs. The color coding I did for you the next day. The personal connection writing assignment was 100 if you did it. It was participation. So this character chart, I've literally been working with you for the last 3 days. I've given you all kinds of resources, and I even modeled 2 different answers for you. So at this point, there's plenty of help available to you if you choose to pass. If you don't pass this year, it's because you chose not to. Okay? There's still time. We still have 2.5 weeks before grades are due, and I could always submit grade changes if I need to. So don't give excuses that you're overwhelmed and that you don't know where to start, because for your English class, your teacher's got you, and I will help you to the best of my ability. So remember, there's always an option to come back in person. There's not really anybody here during the class period times. Everybody's socially distanced. There's nobody in my room right now, otherwise I'd be masked. So those are always options if you feel that you're not being successful at home. All right? Okay, guys, one more day until spring break. We've got this. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.